Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 73 days away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really intriguing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is, of course, going to answer many of the burning questions from The Force Awakens that were not answered in The Last Jedi that will now be answered in this movie by JJ, and how that's going to also lead to various twists and turns that will lead to saga-wide implications within the Skywalker saga. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to various shot descriptions of the upcoming Episode 9 film surrounding the second act, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this movie. Now, specifically, shot descriptions of a sequence based in the second act of the film, where it's explained that both Rey, Poe, and Finn are said to be on the world of Kijimi, where it's described that Rey is said to be fighting Kylo Ren during one of their flash fights, where Poe and Finn are said to be standing back watching the battle between the two, where it's said that through Finn and Poe's perception, they see only Rey fighting nobody, where in reality, Rey is fighting Kylo Ren on another section of the planet via their flash fight. It's described that one of the sequences is said to involve a moment in which later on, when their Force bond ends, they meet in person, continuing their saber duel, where Rey is described to throw Darth Vader's melted helmet over the edge of a cliff, where Kylo Ren is said to enter into a phase of rage. After their duel, it's described that Kylo Ren defeats Rey by giving out a command to the new Sith Empire to wipe out the entire surface of the planet of Kijimi. It's said that this is done with the superweapons that are called the Annihilators in the film, where Rey and her crew narrowly escape by boarding a ship that belongs to Zori Bliss. The next explains a scene in where Kylo Ren is reporting to Palpatine that he had successfully destroyed the Thieves' Tower and the surface of Kijimi. However, Rey and her crew had escaped, and that Palpatine tells Kylo Ren that the only way to turn her to the dark side now is by telling her the truth of who she really is. This discussion between Kylo and Palpatine is said to be done through a hologram and echoes the conversation between Vader and Palpatine from Empire Strikes Back. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this is, of course, a very intriguing scene or a series of sequences based in the second act of Episode 9. Now, first things first, the world of Kijimi. In case you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, Kijimi is going to be the world and the location of Zori Bliss, which is actually going to be portrayed by Kerry Russell in this movie. And on top of all of this, this is said to be the moment in which both Rey and Kylo Ren fight in a flash fight, where it's actually described that Kylo Ren is on board of one of the ships from above, and Kylo Ren, of course, actually is fighting Rey through this flash fight where Rey is said to be on the surface of the world. Now, this is said to be a moment in which we get to see a different perception, or a different perspective, I should say, of the flash fight through other people's eyes. Through, of course, Poe and Finn watching Rey fighting Kylo Ren, where she's just fighting nobody. She's literally just standing there fighting nobody at all. And that's because they cannot actually see the flash fight happening before their own eyes. This is all a mind link between both Rey and Kylo Ren, which is very interesting because it is essentially a Force bond, but taking things to the next level where they can actually clash sabers. And they kind of teased that already in The Last Jedi, where they were able to touch hands, except now they are able to clash with their lightsabers separately, where Kylo Ren is on one side of the world and Rey is on the other side of the world. Now, this world is actually said to be around the same exact size of course, the world of Tatooine, so it's a pretty large world. It's an icy planet, dusty, I guess you could say, like a dust of snow here and there on a rocky world. So the other piece that I do want to go over, of course, that really intrigues me is how the First Order actually initiates the new Sith Empire's superweapons that are called the Annihilators. Now, the Annihilators are said to be based off of the world Devastators from the expanded universe that Palpatine unleashes in this movie, except Kylo Ren is the one to initiate the blast, where we do get a glimpse of that in the teaser trailer number 2 that we got over at D23. That's actually the world of Kijimi getting pretty much, blown to smithereens there, except it keeps the world intact and just destroys the surface. This is where Palpatine eventually reports to, of course, Kylo Ren, filling him in, asking him what happened, and Kylo Ren is able to confirm that he destroyed the Thieves' Tower, which held many valuable Jedi relics and lore and stuff around those lines. But at the same exact time, Rey and her crew got away. This is where Palpatine tells Kylo that in order to truly turn her to the dark side, she must now know exactly who she is. This is basically Palpatine's last resort as a way to manipulate Rey to the dark side of the Force. And that's a very interesting thing because it really makes one wonder, will Palpatine and Kylo Ren be successful at turning Rey or not? That's a big question open on the table for discussion because we do know that this film is all about redemption, as every single Star Wars movie, at least pretty much for the most part, is of course about redemption. That's the overall stories of Star Wars as a whole. It's that and family. So with that being said, guys, I would love to hear each and every one of you and what you have to say about the second act of episode 9 in this particular sequence. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.